Are you someone that is always hunting for more screen real estate on your laptop, even if it is a larger 16-inch model? Do you hate the idea of carrying around a bulky second display with all sorts of paraphernalia to make it work? Now, what if I told you that your problems could be solved with an affordable second display option that won't break the bank or your back if you want to lug it around? Introducing the Kefeya laptop screen extender. Now, this sleek little clamshell style design monitor may not wow anyone with amazing specs. It is not OLED, it is not mini LED, it does not get terribly bright, but even with all those seemingly negative points, it definitely does make up for its price and featherweight design. Coming in at 1.3 pounds and being just over half an inch thick, even inside the travel case, is super packable no matter your bag style. Now the screen size is 14 inches, 60Hz, 1080p. Again, not industry leading, bleeding edge tech for a main display, but as a secondary display, it is way more than adequate. If you're the type to do any sort of technical writing, work with different virtual machines, coding, scripting, or benefit from a dual monitor setup already at your main desk, then yes, you would benefit from this style of setup. Again, it is so lightweight compared to other designs and actually has a decent Apple-esque design with the backside of the display. It's only a shame that they didn't carry over the exact same design into their kickstand portion. If you don't care about design and more about function, then you'll be more than pleased with this addition to your loadout. Now inside the box, we are left with a pleasant and simple layout. Inside you get one USB-C to USB-C that is angled, one USB-A to USB-C, and an HDMI to USB-C set of cables. Additionally, this sleek and handy travel case adds little to no bulk, but heaps of protection. Around the back of the screen, we have 3 USB-C ports, 2 are for power and displays. So like my MacBook Pro here, you can use a single cable to power the display or any other laptop that supports video and power over USB-C. If you don't have a capable device though, or an older laptop with just HDMI, you can use the included HDMI to USB-C cable to carry display into the third port, but in doing so you do also need to feed it power via one of the other 2 USB-C ports. Now this is not the end of the world, but if you like to keep bulk and cable mess to a minimum, USB-C only is the way to go. Now if you're thinking, oh geez, it would be so much better to have the screen on the left side, not the right, well you are out of luck, unless you utilize 2 options. One is dependent on owning a MacBook with also an iPad, and the other is dependent on being okay with a portrait-based display and having a huge chunk of plastic stick out in front. If you use it as a portrait-based display, you better have the extra space needed to accommodate the plastic support next to your laptop. Otherwise, if you're a Mac user in the ecosystem and have an iPad, you can utilize the iPad as a third display. So while you may not solve your issue of having it being on the right-hand side instead of the left, you can at least have another third display to have a triple display monitor setup. Now, bonus points for actually not requiring any sort of cable connection between the computer and the iPad if you go this route. Of course, that is a very expensive solution to a very small problem, but if you do happen to already have one, it is an option that is just as packable as the monitor itself. With the power of the 3 screens in your loadout, you can have Teams or Discord going on one end, your main content directly in front of you, not needing to be minimized or moved about sharing the display space with any other app. The Kefeya monitor, though, having a 16:9 aspect ratio, does lend itself well to having 2 tabs next to another, having both pages or apps viewable for quick reference or fact checking on one single monitor. While the page and title does have wording and straight up advertising to support gaming, it does beg to question whether or not it should have been omitted, but they are technically not really lying. While you can plug it into a PS5, Nintendo Switch, or anything really other else capable with a modern display capability, the real question here is, should you? Now, in my opinion, no. The ergonomics and design of this monitor does not really allow for easy deployment on its own without taking up unnecessary space. Perhaps if you live in a small dorm room and need the second display for your course and have no other means to display your PS5 or something like that, sure, that would work, but I argue there may be a better suited option for that use case. Realistically, Discord team chat when playing online is probably the most gaming thing you should do on this bad boy. As another interesting point, it does have speakers built in, and they are included in the main base of the unit, so having it being used on your laptop, the sound will be right in front of you, not to the side, but if you are gaming or something like that, it will be off to your left-hand side. They get decently loud-ish, I guess, in mildly loud environments, but don't hold really any sort of candle in the wind to most modern laptop speakers. To wrap things up, this little guy is pretty damned impressive for the price. It is built pretty sturdily with no major creaks or squeaks when manipulating the extension mechanism or kickstand portion. The 14-inch size is perfect for most anyone's use case as a non-primary display. 60 Hz is obviously not the smoothest, but again, with mainly static content, it is perfect. The brightness is a little dim at 300 nits, but again, see the above point. It is plenty bright enough for its main intended purpose. It is not perfect, but I don't think it needs to be, and has a better build quality than it has any right to have. If you are a software developer, help desk tech support, call center worker, coder scripter, or someone that uses a secondary monitor daily at home or as their main workstation, but also works just as much stationary with a laptop, or if the laptop is your only main machine, then yes, you should probably grab one of these if you do want to have a secondary monitor. Hell, even just as a half-bit YouTuber like myself, I use this to script and edit video and a handful of other virtual machine and networking based tasks. Now, it is an absolute lifesaver, especially versus the other bulky options I have at my disposal that all ended up just being kind of stationary monitors because they were too inconvenient or bulky to carry. Now, thanks to Kefeya for sending this over for review. No money exchanged hands, but I was allowed to keep this product post-review. That did not influence this overview, but if you think it has, I do implore you to seek out other reviews of the product. And finally, as always, I hope you all have a great day.